All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Droppin'Baums with me, your host, Corey Baumeister. Today, we're going to be bringing you a little bit more Pioneer content because I've been having a blast playing the format. You know, all these RCQs have really injected new life into the format. There's a lot of people that are innovating, and one of them here is Max McVitie and company. I don't know who was all on their testing team, but I know it wasn't just Max. But they built this deck that is really, really, really near and dear to my heart, Bant Humans. Because if we all flash back to like 2016 when BBD won Worlds, this was a deck that I took after, the week after BBD won Worlds, I took to an RCQ or whatever they were called at the time for Pro Tour Honolulu. I ended up winning. And then I won the next weekend for Pro Tour Dublin, whatever that was, through a sealed event. And honestly, a lot of the same cards were in there. This was in my sealed deck. And it was, one of my best cards in the top 8 draft. So a lot of good stuff. So it really brought my career back to life after I stopped being a pro for like 4 years and then decided, you know what, I'm not going on the right path. I want to try to do what I loved again instead of trying to do a job that maybe wasn't for me. So little backstory there. Take it as you will. But let's get to the deck because I think this deck is actually really good right now, and I think it's at a very good place in the metagame. So the main thing I'm kind of always asking myself when I want to consider a deck, one, is it just for fun? If so, kind of who cares? I'm going to try it out. 2, is it going to be competitive? And if it's going to be competitive, does it beat Mono Green and Phoenix? Or at least close against them? If I lose to both of those decks, and I know that, this isn't the deck to play right now because those decks are both very prevalent. And I think this deck should have game against both of them and might even be like heavily favored against both. Not sure on that. We're going to figure that out. Hopefully we play the matchup, but it makes sense. As far as Phoenix goes, you have Thalia, which is just one of the best cards against Phoenix. You have Reflector Mage to bounce Ledger Shredder if they get too big. Thing in the Ice before they flip. And then you can copy it with Charming Prince. They also kill a lot of your creatures, so being able to Extraction Specialist to bring something back whenever, whenever your opponent is dealing with a lot of your threats, like is it Phoenix's, it ends up being really strong. And then as far as Mono Green goes, we have Reflector Mages to bounce, let's say, Old Growth Troll, and then you just go really, really big over the top of Mono Green where you can pressure their Planeswalkers, and then we also just have a bunch of portable holes probably for both matchups. I think maybe Portable Hole on the draw against Phoenix is okay. And I think against Mono Green, you're just like 4 Portable Holes no matter what. Seems too important. So let's get to the specifics of the deck. The mana base is actually pretty good. We get a couple of duels in Botanical Sanctum as well as Temple Garden. And then you get some of the best lands, Secluded Courtyard and Unclaimed Territory. Now, you can't go overboard with these cards because they don't produce green to cast Collected Company. They don't produce white to cast Portable Hole. So, Max and friends, I'm sure, went through the numbers on the mana base, and I'm totally just trusting them because, well, spoiler alert, I'm not very good at mana bases. It's something I've been trying to work on, but it's something I've always been kind of bad at. That's always been Brad's job is, Brad, help me make this mana base, or Ross or something. So, getting into the deck, first creature, we got 4 Experiment ones, and then 4 Hopeful Initiate. This is kind of a new one, and this was kind of the tech that they brought to the tournament. Most decks were playing Thraben Inspector, and I hate to talk bad about old Thraby, but it's just not that good of a card anymore. Cantripping in these formats, Modern and Pioneer, just isn't what it used to be, unless you're really fueling a purpose like Is It Phoenix's, with Opt and all that stuff to fuel the graveyard. When you're just cantripping just to draw a card, it's really not what it was cracked up to be. So we're down to just 1 copy of that. I like having 9 1-drops though, so you can consistently have one. Charming Prince was pretty odd to me, and I was like, I don't know if I really like that. But I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, blinking stuff actually seems insane. Blinking Thalia's Lieutenant, blinking Extraction Specialist, Reflector Mage, or just, scrying to set up, let's say you need a land for Collected Company on turn 4. All those things are relevant, and I think that is quite strong. And it also triggers Hopeful Initiate and Experimental 1 on turn 2. So a fine card here. Thalia, like I said, going to be great against Is It Phoenix as well as other control decks, and just has a lot of applications. Thalia's Lieutenant is just one of the most broken cards in the deck, if not the most. You draw a couple of those. Turn 4, you put 2 of those into play. Probably going to win. probably going to win. And I think this deck against Phoenix and other red-based removal decks is just going to be able to get their creatures so big they're out of like Lightning Axe range. And if you can control their thing in the ice, you know, they're not going to do much to you. The matchup I'm probably fearing, you know, on paper and kind of just right away is Rakdos midrange. You know, we played that deck a little bit earlier, and I'm just thinking like all the Fatal Pushes, all the Dreadbores and stuff like that. That seems possible to keep up with this deck. But that deck struggles with Collected Company as well, so seems like another one you can easily sneak by. Werewolf Pack Leader, I learned that it's a werewolf, which is pretty cool. Or, I mean, I learned that it's a human. For sure thought that was just a werewolf, so this is a great addition to the deck. Then we got the Reflector Mages for control matchups. Adeline, because it's one of the best 3-drops we've ever seen. And then Extraction Specialist to be able to bring back some of these efficient 2-drops. And like, yeah, what, it has the claws, they can't attack or block while this card's in play? Well, what if you bring back Thalia's Lieutenant? Or what if you bring back Charming Prince, blink it, bring back something else? I just thought of that line now, and that seems busted. And then we're, of course, a Collected Company deck, so we're going to be ready to tilt off during this video when we rearrange the bottom 6 cards of our library. Then we got Portable Holes for mono green, anything aggressive, you know, maybe mono blue, stuff like that. Unlicensed Hearse for Phoenix, Valorous Stance, probably for like Rakdos midrange, any other kind of big creatures, maybe mono green, that could be good as well. Elite Spellbinder for any kind of control matchup. A 4th Extraction Specialist, wow, just in case, you know, for Phoenix, for mono red, any of these matchups where they're destroying your creature. It's also a Life Leaker, so mono red, it seems like a slam dunk. Redain for any kind of control deck. And then 2 Thalia. Heretic Cathar. I'm sure I'm butchering that. But that seems like it comes in against a valid amount of things as well. There's a lot of non-basic lands. You know, having your opponent's creatures come into play tap seems pretty valuable. So yeah, I think that seems like a really good card. So let's battle. I'm pretty antsy to play with some Bant humans. Okay, no 1-drop, so this hand isn't busted, I would imagine. But, you know, it's still fine. It's still fine. We got a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and they're both strong. Maybe one too many lands. I could see, you know, after playing 1,000 matches, maybe I'm like, this is an easy mulligan on the draw. Something like that, but I don't have those games under my belt. So instead, Temple Garden, tapped, and we'll say go. Now we can go Secluded Courtyard, and then we basically have the world available to us. Mono blue. Okay. Kind of scared of that. We have Portable Holes for that, luckily. This could be tricky. See what they do. If they want to load it up or not. Okay, just a Shacklegeist. I think I probably want to take this time to get Thalia down then. Really tax their mana. So let's go with human. It's either that or the 3/3, but I think the body here is better, especially since they can tap me down. So let's go like that. And then if we get the chance, we're going to just Adeline. Yeah, and we also have a Ganjo, so it's just a straight removal spell that they can interact with very well. So that's nice. Okay, they're going Beatdown. Well, this is troublesome. I could try to channel this. I'd really like to wait till next turn if possible, but I do think I need to get rid of this, so let's attack. It costs 1 less because we have a legend. But I think we just have to get rid of Supreme Phantom. It's just too much of a clock. Probably just going to take, and then maybe we'll just drop Adeline, and then this will cost 1 next turn. Let's get rid of that. That one of a Ganjo could be really good. Maybe we want more of that card. That card seems sweet. But, of course, you don't want to draw 2 legendary lands basically ever in a deck like this that needs to curve out. Now, we do have a Nombo with Collected Company with this. You know, so if we drew that normally on turn 4, that's your best draw. But Thalia does make it awkward. So it comes at a small cost. but totally worth it. Okay, goes with the creature. Alrighty. Now, probably just double creature here. Gain some life, I think is what we have to do. Not ideal, of course, but what else can we do? And then we just hope to draw something big so we can kind of go over the top here. Because we're gaining 3 and we're taking 5 every turn at the minimum. We're going to be able to draw a card next turn with Pack Leader. If we get to attack with everything. And cast creatures from the top of their deck, too. That was probably from the top. Oh, we're dead. There's no way we're coming back from this. There's no way. We need to be faster than them. This doesn't seem great. Yeah, are we taking more than that, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can gain 3, even if we top deck. I guess we have to top deck exactly another Charming Prince. Okay, we got an out to stay alive if they have absolutely nothing, including a spirit. Our Thalias didn't really do a lot. Oh yeah, they just get to tap us down too, huh? Okay. You did it. Congratulations. Alright, so we're going to want removal spells. Luckily, Max had a little sideboard guide on his Twitter as well, Max McVitie, at Max Attack. If you want to check it out, if you want to play along. So I'm kind of going with him since I haven't played this a ton. All right, we're going to go with... I'm gonna start with what he was thinking, and then we'll deviate if we want to. Blue, I think it was on here. For Dane and a stance. So Max was bringing in these 6, getting rid of Extraction Specialist. That makes a lot of sense. Creatures just don't die. When creatures don't die, we're not going to want that card. And then taking out 1 Thraben and 2 Initiates. So really trimming on the 1-drops, huh? Interesting. Seems fine to me. Seems fine to me. You do want to, like, be a little more aggressive, though. I think I'm going to take out a Charming Prince instead of one of these. We're going to really go against the grain here. We'll give that a shot. Portable Hole is going to be excellent here. Okay. Got one of these into Athalia. Can't really complain about that. Now, we got to kind of start with Temple Garden here, because what if we top deck the double green card? You know, what if we need blue-white outside of it? It's the safest card, or it's the safest land to start with. So let's say we play this on white, and then we top deck Werewolf Pack Leader. Horrible play. So got to take some damage, even though it's not what you want to do in a matchup where you're usually racing. But it is what it is. All right. Blue-white, huh? Interesting. Okay, so there's our green. Now, what do we want to put this on? It's still kind of a choice. I think we want to put this on blue. Let's go with Athalia. Okay, attack. This trains when a creature with greater power attacks. Okay, okay. That's why Experimental 1 is just better. It would have leveled and then you would have attacked for 2. So that makes sense why this is the worst of the 1-drops. Okay, that also really sucks. Ugh. Gross. Well, honestly, I think I want to attack just to have it die so I can collect a company next turn, since we have another one anyways. They might not fall for it this time, though. Alright, this time we're just going to let it go. I don't want to play the other one quite yet, so we're just going to go with Charming Prince. And probably just gain life. It feels awkward, but we're racing. We got company for next turn, and hopefully it's just insane. Like most collected companies usually are. Unless I'm playing. Okay, yeah, if they leave up mana, we're really sad. Okay. That still makes us pretty sad, but at least we're just going to cast Collected Company and hope they don't have a Spell Pierce. So we just have to. We got to find a Reflector Mage or something. Okay. Big Collected Company. Might as well do it now while it's going to resolve. Alright. I have a feeling we're not going to like this deck. Alright. Let's have better luck next round. Tilt. Alright, everybody. Welcome to the second round here. And if you're just tuning in, you don't need to check out that first match at all. It went great. We won by a mile. It was all good. So, yeah. Absolutely perfect. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, well, we're on the draw. Maybe this is one of those kind of, screw it hands. If we hit, this hand's going to be amazing. If we miss, whatever. But I actually think this hand's just a keep, because not only do we have Experimental 1 into Hopeful Initiate, if we brick twice in a row, but if we hit it all, we have some really strong plays, plus a card that's going to draw us out of it. So, you know what? I've been burned before by Corey Keeps, but not enough. So let's try it again. Let's try it again. All right. I do think it was a keep. I think it's an easy mulligan on the play, but a tough keep on the draw. I mean, I'll tell you in 2 turns. Or 3 turns, better yet. All right. So what are we up against? Our opponent did mulligan to 6, so we got that going for us. And they might be playing a mono green devotion? Maybe not. All right, we're very smart, very handsome, all those things. So let's start with this for human. Let's start with Experimental 1. No justice in this world for everyone that was hoping I would brick and get punished. Also not cool. You should be on my side. You're watching my video. Just kidding. All right, it's probably Mono Green Devotion, so I do want to test this out anyways. Experiment 1 has to be the best 1-drop for this deck. You know, being able to regenerate, but also just evolving every time. And it evolves off toughness or power. You know, so Adeline's almost always leveling. You know, Werewolf Pack Leader, Hopeful Initiate even levels. It really does get leveled pretty easy. Our opponent's on Forest. I would be shocked if they have a consideration here. It's like, yeah, I'd play the 2-mana ramp spell if they're on Devotion, but yeah. Nice choice, nice choice. Okay. So, I'm going to play this because I'm going to play the Werewolf. Because if I play this, next turn I can Thalia's Lieutenant. And then I'd be able to draw a card. If I'm doing my maths right. I got to make him have it. Yeah, if I'm doing my math right, which I am, you know, I'll be attacking for 7 next turn. So this will trigger. Which, that's pretty insane. All right, here is Mono Green. But, like, we can pressure a Karn if that's what they go with. I don't want to see Old Growth Troll. That'd be pretty obnoxious. Okay, but the thing is, if I top deck a land, I can Reflector Mage and that evolves. That would be sick. That was good. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a better play. The fact that I get to draw a card too. And now they can't replay this. It evolves. Yeah, that's a sick 1, 2, 3. Me like. And now we got double Thalia's Lieutenant next turn to just go over the top of even like a Cavalier. We'll see about a Cavalier. Maybe the Cavalier is still a good play, but... Ooh, we can't play that Old Growth Troll. Sorry. Just kidding. It's not an Old Growth Troll. Alright. So, now we're just going to go ham. Human. Thalia's Lieutenant. I might not even worry about trying to attack Kiora, but that seems kind of loose. It's always about deprivation with these decks, but maybe I'll like spread out the love a little bit. Like if I went 2 creatures to there, otherwise it's just 3 creatures there, they take it. Or I guess, yeah, what, I attack for 14 to the face? It's just lethal? Oh, okay. So I guess I do that, and they have to chump block. You know, yeah. Then, of course, they can go Old Growth Troll, then nick those for 5, untap, down to 3, nick those for 5, 8. Like, what are you going to hit, you know? But it's also the consideration of, like, how do I lose if I just keep killing their permanents? And it's would I rather them have a Sylvan Caryatid or a Kiora? And I would rather them have a Sylvan Caryatid. That's a fact. Because then they only have 5 mana with this. 6 if they do something. What are you going to do with 6? I guess Storm the Festival. But this also draws cards. So, yeah. All right. Talked myself into it. Just go for big attacks next turn. Yeah, and I mean, that'll help. Alrighty. I mean, I did think this would be pretty good against mono green. It's looking good so far. We did have the play. Or no, we were on the draw, but, you know, we drew our land. But I still stand by that keep. Obviously, it worked out great this time, but I think it was correct. I joke around about, you know, having loose keeps every once in a while, but that was just a good hand. All right, this better be one hell of a festival. God, they were 1 land away from being able to go Old Growth plus this. Feels bad for them. Okay. Taco Salad takes it down. All right. Having their creatures come into play tap seems awesome. Spellbinder to slow them down seems pretty good. Then it's, do I want Valorous Stance? Probably not, but I definitely want Portable Holes. And the 3 drops contradict whatever creature I'm taking out, so Company is still a good hit. Now, let's see. What do we want to take out? All right, I think this seems like another matchup where Specialist would be bad. They don't kill my creatures. And Raven seems just like one of the weakest cards in the deck. Definitely want all my Reflector Mages. I think I want all my Adelines. Thalia is probably just okay. Charming Prince is probably bad. Hopeful Initiate doesn't really have too many great targets. And it can be invalidated on the draw. So what if I go like this and 2 Princes? Let's see how this looks for the curve. Yeah, I mean, I honestly want more Portable Holes as my 1-drop against Llanowar anyways. And Thalia can still mess with some of their cards. So yeah, let's try this. Maybe it's too many 3-drops, but we'll try it. All right, game 2. Game 2 of match 2. Match 1 did not go well. Blue-White Spirits completely eviscerated us. It was not close. That is one matchup. You know, I was playing like Rakdos mid-range. And that matchup seems pretty good against Mono Blue. But Mono Blue just really has some polarizing matchups and kind of just beats the crap out of some decks. Mono Green included. So, you know, we're starting to learn Pioneer a little bit more here. And let me tell you, it's a fun format. I've been really enjoying myself, actually. I even loved Mono Green Devotion. I just don't think it's actually that great of a choice right now. It's a good deck, and it will win tournaments every once in a while. But, like, it's being hated out pretty bad. And Phoenix right now has a big target on its back, too. But they're both great decks. But they both can have problems. All right, so let's go like this. Now we'll see if we want to cast Thalia or Werewolf Pack Leader next turn. Probably Thalia. So we can't get Karned. This is white, right? Okay, yeah. And this evolves up the ladder here. If you go straight to Werewolf Pack Leader, then I don't trigger it off the other thing. So helps a little bit. That shouldn't be the biggest deal, but Does matter. Should hopefully mess up their clocks a little bit with that Thalia. Pretty good. Okay, not the biggest of deals, but pretty good. All right. Human. And I don't really want to bounce that. That's not a great bounce target. So let's just go with a boring old pack leader. And so go. Yeah, that was a pretty good turn. Cavalier? That'd be bad. That's indeed bad. Okay. Okay. Could do this plus Reflector Mage, or we do Hopeful Initiate, Pack Leader, and try to Reflector Mage it next turn. I think I like that. Then just have a big attack. Another Cavalier punishes us. But I think it's worth the risk. Who knows? Maybe we'll draw Company, which we can't cast. It's one of the best Werewolf Pack Leader decks I've seen, though. Like, there's a decent amount of ways to attack with it on turn 3 and draw a card, which is pretty cool. Like, I thought it was really good in my aggro Mono Green Devotion because you could just go Pack Leader, like turn 1 Llanowar, turn 2 Pack Leader, turn 3 like Mist Cutter Hydra attack for 6. But like even that was just okay, and you needed an elf. Here you just need any 1-drop, Pack Leader, and then one of like 5 cards. Gulp. Okay, we're dead. Hopefully they're out of gas. And we start drawing crazy. They're not out of gas. And we're dead. And we're just straight dead. And they get a boat. I'm a sad human. I don't know how we can possibly win this. Drawing a bunch of cards, hoping to draw something. I just don't think we can get out of this. It's like any of these creatures I bounce, it's not very effective. Yeah, we're just going to go to the next game. These decks do not come from behind that well. And maybe that was a premature scoop. If I top deck Collected Company into like 2 Thalia's Lieutenant, maybe I could go bigger. Maybe that was wrong. But we'll just win this game 3 easy. I don't think I want to make any changes. Just win game 3. It'll be a piece of cake. So far, we haven't played any matchups where Extraction Specialists are good. And that seems like our best matchup. Because this card's insane. When you can utilize that, like I've been on the receiving end of like, all right, kill your 2-drop. They go turn 3 this, bring back your 2-drop. And you're like, oh, God. Oh, God. It's tricky. All right. So let's do this. Human, portable hole for stuff. I hope to draw a 3rd land. All right, I'm in. I'm in. Human. Then we got great 3-drops if we can get there on time. And if we don't top deck a 2-drop, I hope they play a Llanowar so I can eat it. Nom 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 nom. Okay. Now even if we top deck a 2-drop, I probably wouldn't cast it. Okay. I mean, this is a way to make our draw insane if we do top deck the land. But if not, this experimental 1 was going to be terrible. Hiya. And now we cross our fingers. Okay, come on, come on. Bang. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's probably the game. All right, so now what do we think is the best against him? Probably just Spellbinder after Spellbinder. Same amount of damage. Except they could have, like, nicked those for a land where that would shut that down. Nah, we want to stop stuff from hitting the battlefield. So if we can get their 3-drop next turn, get their 4-drop kind of thing, that's what we want. Yep. That's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, and their hand is not good from here on out. That Lana ward they definitely needed. That portable hole wrecked them. Now we can safely play this. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we've had 2 basically non-matches so far. Let's play one more to close out this video. Hopefully get a 2-1 out of it. All right, match number 3. Let's try to get a W out of this. All right, 60 cards. Don't see any companions from them. And yeah, our hand's perfectly fine. You know, the extraction specialist doesn't have anything to bring back. But, you know, honestly, hopefully they kill something and you do get to bring it back. That's kind of the dream. So let's start off with just our best land. These lands are great. And play old Thraby. Thraby Inspector. Let's go. Take that. Now if we don't draw a 3-drop or something, though, it could be awkward because do you just play it anyways? Or... Okay, we're playing a matchup where they will kill stuff. And this is a matchup where I thought would probably be bad for us. So let's, I mean, this is going to be a good test. Extraction Specialist does get to just bring that back. So, we'll see. We didn't draw anything, so we'll be sacking the clue. Now we hope they don't have another Thoughtseize. But, I mean, this is the deck, you know, that I really think would be good against us because they have so much cheap removal. Yeah, that's a bummer. All right, we got 2 draws out of 3-drop, though. That was a nice play on their part. Just cutting my 2-drop and then my 3. And then me bricking. Oh, my God. Don't be the double brick. Then they just get lucky, too. Ugh. It's not a good one to cast. Might just have to put on some pressure, though. Thing is, if they just play any of their 3-drops, I can't get through it. Extraction Special, or I mean, the 3-drop that takes a card out of my graveyard. Yeah, whatever. I think we have to play, like, the top of our deck is good. Like a Collected Company or something. And just pressure so that when we top deck Collected Company into double Thalia's Lieutenant, it's still effective, you know? But yeah, that was not great. They got us pretty good there. Now let's see which one of their 3-drops is their follow-up. Just a Croxarino? Definitely don't care about that. All right, Collected Company one time. One time, Coco. What do you know? I don't think they know about Temple Garden, but whatever, who cares? Could Fatal Push Reflector Mage as well now. Decided not to. Ooh, baby. Let's go. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Next to a I mean, that is a Collected Company. It's a 3-mana company. Just get to bring this back. All right. Well, all of a sudden, they're dead. They're straight dead. Like, I guess they need Kalitas. Kalitas would be pretty good. But if they don't, they're just dead. That's not that big of a deal. Kalitas is a much better card than this. When I played the Rakdos deck, I didn't play that. And I think it's correct to not play. Well, that wasn't great. So, what do I want to do? think I gotta get rid of Soren. If I go all at face, they block here, take 7, plus 2, take 5. Then they just make another bat. So yeah, I think I could go like just with this. Just like this, and if they wanted to throw it away to just create another bat, so be it. Then they take 6. Yeah, I don't mind it actually. Let's try that. Could be risky. Okay. Did decide to just let Soren go. I think they... No, they don't know the last card in my hand, but pretty obvious what it is. Yeah, we needed a draw there. You know, we needed some kind of creature there to just put this game away. Now it's just a game. But now if they have Fatal Push as well, we're in trouble. Okay, so this can attack now. We don't have amazing attacks. Like, we definitely need a draw now. Otherwise, they can claw back in. I would love for you to attack. Please get it in there. Damn. Well, we had one good draw, and then the rest of our draws have been just poopy. So I could attack both at Chandra. It's the safer play. They'll gain 2 out of it. Or I just attack with the Reflector Mage. Then they make the choice. But I think I need this Planeswalker off the battlefield. And just have to hope to draw something. Now they just get to go up to 9. Chandra down. All right. Now let's hope they don't have a 1-mana removal spell and then bring back Croc, so that'd be a brutal one. We're going to have to top deck now anyways. Like, at this point, we're actually behind, you know? This game felt unlosable, but draw running lands with this deck, you know, it's pretty bad news bears. And that is one aspect of this deck that I know I was going to not like as much as, like, let's say Rakdos or Phoenix or even Mono Green. You know, they don't run out of steam that much. You know, modern decks basically never run out of steam with how the power level is. But Pioneer deck is not quite at the same power level. But, like, for instance, those 3 decks usually stay gassed up. But, of course, this deck can just kill you so fast where you're not even set up. You got me. But that does allow them to play Croxa, which is pretty good. They know the coast is clear. All right, collected company time. Even like a Charming Prince is still pretty good. Blink Reflector Mage, Bounce Croxa. So we have a lot of good draws, but, you know, outside of Folly's Lieutenant, Charming Prince, maybe Adeline would be okay, but nothing special. We definitely have a lot of bricks. Weird. I got to choose to discard the other half. Nice. Wow. Now if I top deck Reflector Mage, they're just 5, 6, 7. Okay, they're not dead, but they're basically dead. Reflector Mage. Bang. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right, we'll say go. Oh, we've drawn like shit. Still one collected company. We're back in it, but now we're starting to get to the point of the game where we need a huge draw. Which, basically the only huge draw is collected company or Croxa. I mean, yeah, I'll take this. Take a big old hit. Maybe draw something. All right, we need it, and we need it now. Bang. Sweet. All right. That one, our deck let us down. That's for sure. I think we only drew one spell, maybe two. Extraction Specialist seems good. Valorous Stance to deal with big creatures. Don't want Portable Hole. I don't want this. Maybe I want Toski? Yeah, that seems good. And what don't I want? I just take out the one drop here. If they thought seize me or they kill this, it's pretty brutal. Everything else seems good. Charming Prince could be bad. All right, how about we do two of these, two princes? Yeah, sure. All right, well, that was a pathetic set of draws, I must say. Really pathetic. But I mean, like I was kind of saying, you know, while we were playing, while we were getting ready for this is a deck that can just flood up. And not a lot of decks can do that right now with the power level of cards, escape cards in the deck, you know, the fact that Izzet Phoenix just never runs out of cards. You know, a lot of the top tier decks go on. But, you know, small sample size. We're not, no matter what, if we were to go 3-0 or 0-3 with this deck, we wouldn't write it off just because of these results. That's results-oriented thinking, and that's just not a good way to look at it. All right, let's do this. Can't cast this, but I still think I'm going to keep this. Extraction Specialists are good. Maybe they thought it's the 2-drop just because, you know, we could just draw a green and then we get to bring it back on turn 3. Yeah, it's a tough Thoughtseize if they have it, you know? Probably just take company. That's what I would take. Depending on their hand, of course. Bang. Old Thraben Inspector, eh? All right. Not an amazing draw, but at least it's something. We'll see if we'll even cast an Extraction Specialist if we were to draw it. Or if we don't draw a green source. I almost assuredly want to play Werewolf Pack later. But when they know about the Specialist, it is not as good of a card. You can definitely just play around it. It's like, yeah, do you want to play anything? Or... okay. That was a pretty good draw, probably. Would you like to kill this Thraben? Okay, they can still Fatal Push, but they can't Stomp. That's the big thing. The most efficient removal spell right now. Like, if they push Thalia, cool. I got a Specialist. It's coming back. Okay. I will bring it back next turn. Stop them from casting one of their 4-drop Planeswalkers. That's pretty good. That's a good Magic card. Lifebane Zombie, huh? Interesting. Ugh. I I mean, I guess, but... Well, first let's attack. Like Bane Zombie is some pretty good tech. But let's just do this. Yeah, exiling the specialist is pretty not nice. Not like a Kalitas or something, and we're just like, yep, you got it. Yeah, and I just can't block that, but that's fine. I'm not trying to go toe-to-toe with this deck. It is some cute tech, though. Cute tech indeed. Don't mind that. Okay. Well, we top deck a green source. That'll do. Boink, boink, boink. Alrighty. And we got this draw card engine online. Hopefully they just have 3 4-drop planeswalkers in hand. Okay, now I hope they have none of those. 2 Thoughtseizes. Ooh, trying to animate a hive, maybe? That's kind of a good play, actually. Suppose we can sack this. See what we get. Excellent, excellent. It's like we don't even have a good attack. Even if we just put mana into this, it's not even that good. We could attack. They would trade this. They would eat this. Yeah, it's just not good. All right, here we go. Well, same situation as last time. Just in a decent situation, slightly ahead, draw 2 lands, now behind. Okay, maybe they're flooding as well, and we can stop complaining. How about a company? All right. All right, the jig is up. We're getting in there. Pretty solid. Now we can just bounce Reflector or bounce the Hive. I like that. So we could pump and they would take 6. No, it doesn't seem worth it. All right. Reflector Mage. Get that Hive out of there. I'm pretty sure they can still play the Hive. Pretty sure they can still play that as a land, but I could be wrong. Some judge in the comments could be like, well, actually, because of level 5-7, they cannot play that. Yeah, I figured. That's a Kalitas. All right, we need to draw or we're dead. I do just hate being cold to this card. Like I could attack with everything, but they gain so much. Like, I'm just gonna attack with just the pack leader, offer a trade. All right, well. Kalitas is such a good Magic card. Absolutely obscene. All right, well, here we go. Now, any removal spell completely wrecks us and ends the game effectively. Well, we're at a little lull here. If any of y'all are interested in some next level Pioneer content, you know, I always put all my results and talk about every deck in depth or in detail. I always have a constant churning, like what is the deck I would play for Modern, what is the deck I would play for Pioneer, and I have a bunch of sideboard guides in there as well. Right now I have Grixis Death Shadow with the top like 15 matchups for Modern, and then as well as 4-color Elemental with Monkey with Ragavan for Modern as well. And then we're going to have a Pioneer sideboard guide coming into the Patreon this month. It's going to be whatever deck I think is the best that I would be playing. You know, little spoiler, I'm leaning towards Rakdos right now and happy to play Is It Phoenix as well. Those are probably my top two, with Mono Green being a third, but we have plenty of work to do, plenty of exploring to do. But if that kind of evolution of the format interests you, come on into the Patreon. We got a great community. So, all right, plug over. Now let's try not to lose this game. Okay, not having anything is decent. Okay, that was a big draw. Big draw. Big old draw right there. Uh-huh. Oh, baby. All right, now I think I just attack with everything. They're going to get to eat something with the hive, but whatever. Okay. So I can give something indestructible, which I don't really care about. Or I can just pump, put them to 1. That seems better. Still just pump, put them to 2. Seems like a worse block to me. But I guess 1 and 2 is pretty similar. Yeah, 1 and 2 is the same. I would block Thalia for sure. But I guess you got to get this card draw out of here. Alright. Now we should be okay as long as they don't have anger or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there you go. 2 very powerful draws just like that. We're in a commanding position. So these cards are powerful. It's just you can't flood, you know? Drawing 7 lands here was already too much. But luckily, I think their draw was pretty bad too. If they had a removal spell, I was almost assuredly dead. On the draw, I think I care less about Hopeful Initiate and maybe more about a Charming Prince. Maybe a Thalia? Yeah, 1 Thalia seems okay. Hopeful Initiate is worse than Thalia Thraben Inspector because you just get to draw some cards off Thraben, which is pretty big. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep. This hand is probably the best hand we've had so far, to be honest. Okay, they mulligan to 6. Let's see what they got. All right, Temple Garden tap seems like a good play. Say go. Now a good Thalia on turn 2 into Adeline. I mean, that's a good punch. Get to play Thalia before they can play like Fable the Mirrorbreaker is pretty big. That's definitely their best card. That card is obscene. A couple of companies. If we start to get to chain those off and we don't brick, I feel great. So a lot of ifs. All right, hopefully they had Bone Crusher, not Fatal Push. Okay. And Thalia's Lieutenant and Adeline work extremely well together. Yikes. That is the life bane of my existence. So they got to take one of these. Then we're going to play whichever one they don't take unless we draw a good 3-drop here. How about an Extraction Specialist? That would be so good. I guess it wouldn't be that good because it slows up our companies. Okay, so humans. Don't want to give away that we drew the land we needed. Bang, your turn. It's going to be collect a company o'clock. Probably just on their end step. No point in getting crazy. Unless they play Kalitas, then we just have to destroy it. Because that card's good. Happy to take 3. Anything but double Thoughtseize? That'd be pretty brutal. Okay, now we'll be companying on our main phase, because we might get like a Reflector Mage and another human. Could be like an Adeline, you know, and we'd be attacking through. So here we go. Can I get my first good company of this deck? Yeah, I suppose I can. That is still good enough. Any order. Bring this back, even though Thalia is not amazing right now. It's still good enough as a free card. Boink. Yeah, this is pretty insane. Just got 3 creatures off Collected Company. Alright, I'll attack with a 4/4. And we got a lifelinker that, you know, helps us leverage their Intimidate plus Flyer. You know, that's a 5 power attack that we cannot interact with. But with the lifelinker, you just fight it. Alright. I take it back. Everything I said about the deck. This deck's busted. I don't know. Like I said, it's still too early to tell. And we haven't even won yet. Alright, no damnation. The bloodiest of the crypts. Take 2. Kalitas plus a removal spell. Glory Bringer. Five mana Chandra, that makes sense. That also makes sense. God, now if we get another Extraction Specialist, this is just so GG. Can't cast it right now. But I can just attack with these 2 and maybe do something later. I would rather the Specialist dies. So I think I'm going to attack this here and this to Chandra. Maybe I would rather it be the other way around. I think I want Chandra dead. Alright. Chandra, Sorin. Draw a magic card. Tilt. Oh, well, we still get to kind of collect companies. Play 2 creatures. Chandra's down. And Thalia's unlocked. Experimental 1. Or experiment 1. And a pack leader. And land go. They know about our last 2 cards, so no point in bluffing anything. And our board's looking good. Gonna be tough for them to do something. Holy shit. Okay, they took 4 for Kalitas. And that's a card we'll just snap Valorous End, draw a bunch of cards, say, yeah, I'll kill that. Yeah, makes sense they're not going for it yet. Okay. Yep, and they can't cast a spell with Thalia in play. So this feels like an easy no-brainer collected company. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'll pick these two. I'll pick these two, which brings a third along for funsies. Any order. Evolve. Oh, wait. I want to evolve. I don't think it matters. I'm sure there's a correct order here, but I think it's the same. Because this will grow by 1, but so will every other creature. Alright. What does an attack at all to their face look like? I mean, this one had Sorin. Okay, so that's 12. Yeah, so I do want to try to kill Sorin. That's a fine one. And then the rest face. And if they want a single block, then they get to keep Sorin. I don't want to go crazy at Sorin because it just doesn't matter that much. It's not a very good card. Alright. That's completely obscene. How fast a tune can change when you hit 2 creatures off company. Your deck looks insane at that point. Alright, maybe we'll not cross this one off our might play list as well. And once again, in the Patreon, I'll have like a detailed description after I play each league. Talk about what I liked, what I disliked, you know. And that together helps paint a picture for the event that we're going to play. Okay, I guess they can do some busted stuff with Kalitas next turn. Yeah, so maybe this was not the best, because they are going to get to trade those Harvesters for a creature plus a zombie. So yeah, I don't think this game's over. Gets a 2-for-1 us twice. But then we get to just kill Kalitas. Alright, it's still probably over. Is that just lethal? I think so. But the lieutenant will help us out here. Seeing if our opponent was getting salty. You always got to check the salt check. Check if they're in the salt mines. So if I attack with all these, they can block 2 and take 7. Yeah, they're just dead on board. Yeah, they might be salting us. Guess we don't need our preview anymore. Just in case we get a salt. It's always fun to check it out. We drew a lot of cards here, though. We drew way more cards than the Rakdos deck that usually filters out their deck quite a bit. So, you know, we got that going for us. A solid 2-1. Solid 2-1. Rakdos is one of the tougher decks, I would imagine, as well. So that's nice to be able to take them down. Here's some more fuel for the fire. This deck is cool. It's definitely cool. I'd like to draw a card. You get 2 chump blockers. Now, when you draw 7 lands after you've drawn 4 or 5 off Werewolf Pack Leaders, then we're cool with that. Okay, take 9. All right, everyone. A solid 2-1 with Bant humans. Excuse me, a deck that is kind of near and dear to my heart. You know, so I think we'll be practicing a little bit more with this. Might even play it on stream here one of these days coming up. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell to get future videos. Really appreciate that. That really helps out my numbers and whatnot. And if you share these videos, always a huge bonus. So thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next video.